Hello, everyone. Madison here, and today is an exciting day. It is finally the season finale of The Mandalorian. And after last week's episode, I am so hyped. And we have a couple of really big questions going into this week's episode. One of which is who's going to save the day? Because obviously the Mandalorians are vastly outnumbered. So who may or may not come into play to help them turn the tide against the Empire? And the other question is, which, somehow this did not even cross my mind last week, who is the spy? The episode was called The Spies, and the only spy that we saw was, I think her name is Kane, at the start of the episode, the Imperial spy for Moff Gideon. So it was plural, the spies, and I don't think it was referring to her, to be honest. So a lot of people have been asking who is the spy amongst the Mandalorians. I want to read a few comments from last week's episode offering some theories about who the spies could be and who could show up to save the day. Scott Edwards says New Republic X-Wings will come. Very possible. There is that particular captain that Din has kind of befriended. Why do I always forget his name? He could come to investigate because the last thing they saw was Beskar at the crash site in space where Gideon's body was missing, and they saw Beskar and they're like, so this means Mandalorians took Moff Gideon. That could very easily be a setup for the New Republic coming to investigate and then finding the Mandalorians in trouble. Like, they come to investigate the Mandalorians and then they realize the Mandalorians are neck deep in trouble with the Empire right now. And then the New Republic would help. That is a very good theory and very, very likely. Mike Brown says maybe that luxury planet they visited will be instrumental in getting them help on Mandalore. Someone would need to get away to contact help, which Axe Woves was going to do that in last episode. That is also a very good possibility, although I don't know if they'll come that quickly. I think it's probably more likely that they could show up and help rebuild Mandalore after the fact, like send a bunch of droids to help rebuild Mandalore, which would be a really good point of development for Din, especially with his hatred of droids, having droids help rebuild not his homeworld, because he's from Concordia, I think. I actually don't even know if he was a foundling, so I don't know where he's from, but I know he grew up on Concordia for the most part. But having droids rebuild Mandalore itself would be a huge... I think that would go a long way with him for his improving his relationships with droids in general. Wily Coyote 57 FLH says, well, this episode totally ruined my Vizsla theory from a couple weeks ago, but wild theory time again. Those Mandalorian survivors are under Gideon's leadership. They led Bo-Katan's group to the Forge, which happened to be conveniently located next to Gideon's base. They would have known about the Imperial presence on Mandalore as they had been there since the Purge. Good point. And also, I think the survivors being taken up to the orbiting fleet are a Trojan horse, possibly being led by the Armor in league with Gideon. She's been seeming a bit sketchy recently and has her own agenda. I don't know. I kind of trust the Armor with my life at this point, and I could be completely mistaken in that, but I am with you on the Mandalorian survivors. Why did they just now show up? Why did they not warn them about the Imperial presence? Because surely, like you said, they would have known about it from being there since the Purge. Had to have known. Had to have seen that developing. I mean, all of those ships, all of those troopers, I mean, they had to have seen something going on. And they said nothing. So I think that's the best chance of traitors in their midst is the newcomers. But I trust the Armor, and I could be completely misguided in that, but right now I trust her. So alright guys, with that said, that's the last comment I'm going to read today, and I wanted to thank you guys so much for your engagement this season, for sharing your thoughts on the show with me, and for sharing your theories. And yeah, it's been fun. It's been a journey of ups and downs this season, but last week was all ups for me. And I'm really excited to see the epic conclusion to this season. And my personal theory, which I don't even feel like is a theory because I feel like it's a very logical conclusion to come to at this point. Could be wrong. But we have to see the mythosaur, right? I mean, they set that up at the whole beginning of the season. And I think we're going to get Bo-Katan riding the mythosaur in the season finale. That's my theory that I'm going to venture forth there. But I don't know because someone's got to fight Gideon. We could get a round 2 with Din and Moff Gideon. And I don't really think Moff Gideon can fight a mythosaur. Like the mythosaur would just, eat him for breakfast. But I don't know. That's my theory. Bo-Katan riding the mythosaur. We'll see what happens. Right into the action here.
Evacuate everyone! Use the capital ship as a decoy. We can't beat them in the air. We have to beat them on the ground.
I'll return
Drop signal. I'm surprised he has enough fuel for that. Like, they were losing fuel chasing that monster early in the season. Boom. Memorize the way out, Din. Nice. Oh gosh. Look out.
No.
Yes.
No. I'm okay.
Oh.
Will you cut me loose? Yes.
That
Thank you. If we don't take out Moff Gideon, this will never end.
was a pretty sweet fight scene right there. Lateef Crowder. He's awesome. Oh boy.
Mandalorian has escaped.
Shall we engage?
No, I'll take care of him myself.
Here we go. Rematch. Din needs a weapon. He doesn't have the spear and he doesn't have the darksaber.
I need you, buddy. You're gonna have to scomp into
Buddy.
the base. Sorry, I don't speak binary. I'm counting on you.
You got this, R5.
Got it. Good job, buddy. That's the command center. That's where he operates from.
But he's not there anymore.
Load the gauntlets and send all available troops down as reinforcements. Leave the capital ship behind as a decoy.
Load everyone onto the dropships. Go.
Now, why are you staying behind? You should go with him. Don't tell me Axe is the spy. Axe, get off the ship. What are you doing? We already lost Paz Vizsla. Oh my gosh.
The command center is down there. I don't have any weapons, so this might get messy.
Yeah.
R5.
I wish there was a way to, like, sabotage them.
Over the shield! Over the shield!
Oh, that was sweet. Anyone else getting Phantom Menace vibes right now? Needs to take one of those things. Stun baton, yeah. Oh.
R5. Next shield.
No.
R5, next shield!
Oh my gosh, that was freaking sweet. Oh my gosh. Kick him, R5. It's a trap. Oh boy.
That's not Gideon. Those are his clones.
Oh my gosh.
Let's go.
I hope they're all dead now. So that's why he said it has me in it. Is he all of the Dark Troopers and not just the one?
We've taken refuge in these surface caves since the Purge.
We planted farms. These are the old species indigenous to Mandalore.
I never knew the surface could still sustain plant life.
Lady Kryze, your reinforcements have arrived.
Good. Oh, seeing the armor use a jetpack. Sweet. Oh, that was cool. There's so many.
I was isolating the potential to wield the Force. And you smothered them before they could draw their first breath.
Thank goodness. Yo, we need help. Mayday, mayday. Somebody.
No, no, no.
No!
Grogu can't die, right? They wouldn't. They wouldn't dare. Come on. Yes, come on, Bo-Katan to the rescue.
I've got this. Go save your kid.
Oh, use the Force, Grogu. Good job, Grogu. Oh my gosh. Oh no.
Clear everyone out! I'm gonna take out the base!
Come on, kick his butt. What?
The Darksaber is gone. You've lost everything.
Mandalorians are stronger together.
Get him. Okay, good. He's gonna get away. Kill him before it collapses. I want him gone. Just like season 1. We are Groot. Oh my goodness.
In the words of the creed shall be forever forged in my heart.
And the words of the creed shall be forever forged in my heart.
It'd be really awkward if the mythosaur interrupted his ceremony this time. Is he doing it for Grogu?
He is too young to speak, so he is too young to take the creed.
If his parent gave permission,
His parents are far from here, if they are even alive.
then I will adopt him as my own.
We're making it official.
Written in song, the Din You are now Din Grogu, Mandalorian apprentice.
This is the way.
Passing the torch. Light the forges. You'll love to see it.
Let me buy you a drink, Mando.
Thanks, but I'm here on business. We've both been chasing Moff Gideon.
Do I see Dave Filoni in the background?
First, you don't have the resources to protect the Outer Rim, and I need work.
You want to work for the New Republic?
On a case-by-case basis.
Let me think about it.
You already did. It's a good deal and you know it.
Greetings, citizens. I am IG-11, your new marshal.
Din built a droid. Character development. That was pretty much perfect. I mean, I can't think of a single complaint I had with that episode. You know, no surprise cameos like people coming to save the day or anything like that, but you know what? I was okay with it. It was pretty epic seeing the Mandalorians save themselves and take back their planet themselves. You love to see it. That was just really, really great. I was genuinely scared for a second that Grogu was gonna die. When he got separated from Din, I was like, they wouldn't, would they? But for a second I doubted, and then I'm like, no, this is Disney. This is Disney, surely not. But oh my gosh. Freaking epic. I mean, Din really got to just show off in this episode his combat capabilities as a Mandalorian, and it was just freaking amazing seeing him take out the Dark Troopers 2 by 2 and then fighting Praetorian guards. I mean, that is impressive, man. I mean, we saw Rey and Kylo Ren struggle with some Praetorian guards. I mean, there were like 6 of them, so it was different, but I mean, pretty dang impressive. That's what I love about Mandalorians, is that they have, like, they would be equal with Jedi if they, like, the only advantage that Jedi have is the Force, and it's a big advantage, but the Mandalorians are the best warriors that there are without the Force. They are peak. And we got to see that in this episode with him. I mean, granted, he had help. He might have died without Grogu, you know, given, like, swaying the odds in his favor, but it was pretty amazing. The music was awesome. I love the Praetorian Guard theme that came in last episode, and then it was there a lot in this episode too. Epic. We got to see Bo-Katan take on Moff Gideon with the Darksaber. Freaking epic. But I am sad that the Darksaber was destroyed. I know a lot of people out there hate the Darksaber. They don't like its design, but I always liked it. I always thought it was really cool. And I thought they pulled it off in live action really well. Like, it's something that worked in animation but could have been real difficult in live action. And I think they pulled it off really well, but I guess it's gone now. So I don't know what the Mandalorians are going to do about that. I don't know if they're going to want to, like, reforge the Darksaber or if they just let go of that old tradition. I don't know. I thought the mythosaur was going to be resolved in this episode, but it was not. You know, it's still just sleeping. It's still just chilling down there in the baptismal waters, and that kind of makes me wonder what they're going to do with that. I mean, I think there is confirmed to be one more season of this show. I don't know if there's going to be any more after that, but I think they've at least confirmed season 4, and then probably after season 4 is when Dave Filoni's big movie is going to be, so I would say season 4 is probably the last one. Could be wrong, but it's kind of interesting that they left that hanging. I mean, I think it's pretty set in stone now that, like, Bo-Katan is in charge and is going to be leading the Mandalorian people, so you would think that the Mythosaur is going to be her thing, right? Like, her royal mount in a way. Symbolic of her leadership, especially since the Darksaber has been destroyed. Yeah, that was really a perfect ending. Like, that's kind of how I would like to see this series end, to be honest, is just Din chilling on his homestead with, you know, baby Grogu, his son, his now official adopted son. The only thing that I would like to see for Din is Grogu needs a mother, okay? And I think Din needs a woman, because I mean, there was that little, you know, kind of love story that went on in chapter 4 of season 1 with him and Omera, and it was kind of like, okay, so Din does have an interest in this, you know, like, he thought about it. And so I would say that that is a want/need for him that has not been fulfilled. He's still single dad, so I want to see Din find his special other half. That's what I want to see, because otherwise he's pretty fulfilled. He has Grogu, his son, he has his family unit of the Mandalorians. He's pretty complete otherwise. And that is something that could still be a really interesting journey for him to go on, with a lot of conflict and tension. Not to say that there's not other stuff. Of course, there's more trials and journeys and things for him to go on, but that is something that would be really interesting for me to see. Now, I am biased. I am a huge fan of romance. I love romance in my Star Wars, and so of course I'm going to be biased towards that direction. I have no idea if that's in the works. It should be, but we shall see. Romance has always been a central component of Star Wars. There's always been a central romance going on in the different trilogies. You had Han and Leia, you had Anakin and Padme, and then you had Rey and Ben Solo in the sequel trilogy, so it's kind of strange to me when it's not there. It's not like it has to be a core component of every story, like with the Bad Batch. I've watched season 1 of the Bad Batch, and I've started season 2, but I've not gotten all the way through it. But it's like, that show is not about romance, right? It's about this kind of family unit of misfits. I don't need romance in the Bad Batch. You know, there's certain things where it's like, I don't need it. But here, I feel like Din needs it to complete the family unit. Feel free to disagree with me, just my opinion. But that was really amazing, seeing a callback to season 1 where Grogu used the Force to control and manipulate the fire, and then he does it like times 50, times 100 in this episode. That was really incredible. He comes through when it counts. But oh my gosh, I know I've already mentioned it, but the existential terror that I felt when he was separated from Din, oh my goodness, that was gonna be a dark turn. That was gonna be a dark turn for Din as a character. Thank goodness that did not happen. We all would have been grieving that one for a long time. But yeah, who was the spy? Was there a spy, or was there no spy? Is that something they're holding off on until season 4? Is that just like a hanging thread? Is there still a spy among them and they don't know it? I mean, we certainly were not given hints as to who it could be. Like, even the newcomers who have been there since the Purge, you know, took them to this nice little surface cave and fought alongside them the whole time and nothing happened. But, like, so was there ever a spy, or was there not? I don't know. They might just be holding off on that until season 4. I have no idea. But the scale of this was pretty fantastic. When you think about the smaller origins of this show and where it's gone, it's pretty amazing. Seeing that final battle with the Dark Troopers and the Mandalorians fighting in the air with their jetpacks, that was pretty incredible stuff that we just have never gotten to see before on that scale, and it was amazing. I was just geeking out this whole episode. I loved it. And yeah, I'm 99% sure that was Dave Filoni in the last scene where at the New Republic Cantina, him in the background with the cowboy hat, and I could hear his voice too in the background talking, so that was pretty funny. We have, of course, had him cameo in the show before as a New Republic pilot, so it makes sense that he would be there. But I love, seeing him with the iconic cowboy hat that he's known for. Man, so Gideon was making clones of himself and trying to make them Force sensitive. Crazy. I always thought maybe he was going to be connected to the Snoke Palpatine stuff, but he was really just doing his own thing, completely narcissistic. And then we have Brindle Hux working on the Necromancer project, which I would assume is the Palpatine project. So we got kind of some clarification on the Imperial, stuff happening behind the scenes and origins of the First Order, that sort of thing. Some people were wondering if we were going to get any hint of Thrawn in this season finale. I didn't expect that, to be honest, because I feel like I felt like they were holding off on him for the Ahsoka series, which it seems that is the case. We didn't have the people from the luxury planet. We didn't have the droids show up. We didn't have Boba Fett show up or anyone else. And to be honest, again, I'm okay with it. It was a really satisfying finale that really wrapped up the threads nicely. And I mean, again, you could end the series there, but I don't want it to end there. I would like to have another season. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And seeing more of Din in Dave Filoni's future film, which is just crazy to even think about. Man, there's always that sadness, that hole, the void when you finish a Star Wars series and you're like, it's over. Oh my goodness. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this season along with me and that you enjoyed this finale. And again, thank you guys so much for your engagement on every episode, your feedback, your comments. I always enjoyed reading them and getting your guys' thoughts on what was happening each week. And it's always more fun engaging with fellow Star Wars fans and talking about it and discussing it than if you're just, talking into the void. So thank you guys so much. If you want to see the full-length version of this reaction, head on over to my Patreon, link in the description below. And yeah, I guess that's it, guys. Wrapping it up. It's kind of sad. Oh. Kind of sad, but at least we got a good ending. We got a good series finale, and everyone's happy for now until season 4. And when that rolls around, I will for sure be back to the Mandalorian reactions. But as for now, for those of you wondering if I'm going to be doing any more series in the foreseeable future, for the whole month of March and now April, I was doing Lonesome Dove and then The Mandalorian, and it was a lot. Like, with Lonesome Dove, I replaced the Film Friday with Lonesome Dove, but when Mando came along, I was doing The Mandalorian and movies at the same time, and it was a little more than I had time to deal with, doing 2 each week instead of just 1. So I'm going to be cutting it back to 1 a week for the foreseeable future. Just Film Fridays, no more series anytime soon. Things have just gotten super, super busy for me. I have comic conventions that I'm attending. I am promoting my book, and things have just gotten super crazy. So I always wish I could do more content in a week, but it's just not possible for me right now. So thank you guys so much for your patience and understanding. And again, thank you for watching along with me, and I hope you will keep on joining me for my Film Fridays each week. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys soon.